you finally got it. The thing you worked toward. The goal you replayed in your head late at night. And instead of relief, there's a quiet emptiness. Not sadness, not happiness either. Just a strange, hollow pause. Like standing at the top of a mountain and realizing there's nothing there waiting for you. Stay with that feeling. Don't fix it yet. Just notice it. At first, you think something is wrong with you. You should feel proud. You should feel satisfied. This was the finish line. But the emotion never arrives. Instead, your mind starts searching. What's next? Why don't I feel different? Why do I already want something else? You scroll, you distract yourself. You quietly compare your reaction to how you imagined it would feel. This experience is more common than most people admit. Graduation, a promotion, financial stability, recognition, even love. The moment arrives and the feeling dissolves almost instantly. Psychology calls this a reward mismatch, but lived from the inside, it feels personal, like a failure of character. Let's start here. You are not ungrateful. You are not emotionally numb. You are not incapable of satisfaction. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The emptiness is not a flaw. It's a signal. Not that the achievement was meaningless, but that meaning doesn't work the way we think it does. Most of us are taught, implicitly, that happiness is stored in outcomes, as if goals are containers and fulfillment lives inside them. But the brain doesn't experience life that way. And once you understand how it actually works, the emptiness begins to make sense. Your brain is not designed for arrival. It's designed for pursuit. From a neuroscience perspective, the main chemical driving motivation is dopamine. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes when you anticipate it. Think of dopamine as the brain's spotlight. It lights up the path forward, not the destination. When you imagine success, dopamine is released in advance. Your brain rehearses the future as if it's already happening. So by the time you arrive, you've already spent the feeling. This is known as predictive coding. The brain is constantly predicting what an experience will feel like, and then adjusting when reality arrives. Achievement rarely exceeds the prediction. It usually just confirms it, and confirmation doesn't feel like reward. It feels neutral. There's another layer. Psychologists call it the hedonic adaptation effect. Your nervous system is built to return to baseline. This is how humans survive trauma. But it also means we adapt quickly to pleasure. What once felt extraordinary becomes ordinary, not because it lost value, but because familiarity reduces emotional intensity. Your brain is economical. It doesn't waste energy reacting to what's now predictable. So the emptiness after achievement isn't disappointment, it's sufficiency. There's a deeper reason this feeling can feel unsettling. For a long time, the goal wasn't just something you wanted, it was something you were. I'm the person working toward this. I'm the one who hasn't arrived yet. I'll be complete when this happens. When the goal disappears, the identity collapses with it. Psychologists call this identity foreclosure, when meaning is prematurely locked into a single outcome. When that outcome is achieved, the mind briefly has nowhere to stand, not because life is empty, but because the old map no longer works. Another subtle trap. What you often feel before achievement is tension, pressure, uncertainty, effort. When the goal is reached, that tension disappears. The absence of tension can feel like emptiness, but it's actually relief. The nervous system has downshifted. Your brain expected fireworks. Instead, it got silence. Silence feels wrong when you're used to noise. This isn't about forcing gratitude or chasing bigger goals. It's about aligning with how your brain creates meaning. Here's a simple framework grounded in psychology.
Your brain is most alive during movement, not arrival. So instead of asking, what do I want to achieve, ask, what process do I want to stay inside? This taps into intrinsic motivation, which is associated with sustained dopamine release and long-term well-being. When identity is tied to a single goal, achievement becomes destabilizing. But when identity is tied to direction, learning, creating, refining, there is no collapse. You don't finish being curious. You don't arrive at growth. This aligns with self-determination theory, which shows autonomy and mastery create deeper satisfaction than status. This is important. When you anticipate the emptiness, it loses its power. Psychologists call this effective forecasting correction, updating your expectations about how things will feel. When the drop comes, you don't panic, you observe. Achievement lives in abstraction. Meaning lives in sensation. The brain encodes fulfillment more deeply through the body than through thought. Slowness, physical presence, noticing texture, sound, temperature. This grounds you in the present instead of chasing the next imagined future. A goal is not the story, it's a paragraph. When the paragraph ends, you don't stop reading, you turn the page. This framing reduces existential threat and keeps the brain oriented toward continuity. Here's the model, the horizon model. The horizon always moves as you walk toward it, not to frustrate you, but to keep you alive. The brain is built to walk, not to arrive. When you mistake the horizon for a place, you feel empty. When you understand it as a direction, the emptiness becomes space. Space to move, space to choose, space to be. That emptiness you felt wasn't failure. It was a pause, a moment where the old story ended and the next one hadn't started yet. You don't need a bigger goal. You don't need to feel different. You just need to stop asking your brain to do something it was never designed to do. Happiness isn't stored at the finish line. It emerges in motion, in attention, in direction, and you're already moving.